Now let's see an aggregation example. Let's see, we want to calculate select count from action from analytics events group by action. This is gonna give us a result in which we're going to read, in this case, the whole table to calculate this simple aggregation. So we want to know the number of events by action, okay? We're inserting Web Vital and page hit events, and this is giving us the result. If we do this query as the table grows, the query response time is going to grow because it needs to fully scan the table to give us a result. So this is a perfect use case for an AggregatingMergeTree materialized view. Let's ask Tinybird code to create this kind of materialized view. Create a materialized view to calculate the count of events per action type. This is gonna create a target data source which has the action and some other columns that it considers are useful to filter, and the event count. Take into account the event count is an aggregate function which is gonna count the number of rows per tenant ID, domain, and action. Let's continue and let's see how the materialized pipe looks like. So this is the materialized pipe query, and what's gonna do is gonna countState. This is a special function that's gonna calculate an intermediate state for each action, tenant ID, and domain in the current block being inserted. If we are inserting 100 rows per second, we're gonna calculate the count for those 100 rows grouped by these three columns. Let's move on with this. And now, if we calculate the very same aggregation as before, we're gonna see it keeps reading the full table because we need to use the new materialized table created, which is called analytics counts MV. And instead of doing a count, we need to do a count merge because the materialized view is calculating intermediate states. So at query time, we need to tell ClickHouse to merge all the states that have not been merged by the background merge process. So we're gonna count merge the event count column, which is this one. And now you're gonna see we are just reading 29 rows instead of the full table, basically. So this is how you can speed up aggregating queries. One important thing to mention, especially when working with AggregatingMergeTree, is that you have a bunch of aggregate functions available. You have functions to calculate unique values, for counts, for calculating the mean and max values, etc., etc., etc. And you can create as many materialized views from your source table as you need. The only thing you have to take into account is, and we're gonna open the data flow for this, is the more materialized views you create, the slower the insert is gonna be. If you look at this diagram, we have analytics events, and we have a number of materialized views which chain from analytics events. So take that into account. Materialized views are insert triggers. So whenever you insert rows in your source table, all your materialized view are going to be executed, and they can be memory and CPU intensive.